go ahead and get this started. All right. What do you got for us, Ben?
Well, our society may be in trouble. And I speak about Western civilization more broadly. According to the Times of the UK, midwives in a place called Brighton have been told to say chest feeding instead of breastfeeding and to replace the term mother with mother or birthing parent as part of moves to be more trans-friendly. Brighton and Sussex University Hospital's NHS Trust is the first in the country to formally implement a gender-inclusive language policy for its maternity services department, which will now be known as perinatal services, because men can have babies too. Through their
Yes. Actually, fully yes.
urethras.
No, not through their urethras. Through their vaginas, Ben. Men can have babies. Women can get men pregnant. Because gender is a social construct. And so a trans man is also a man. And a trans woman is a woman.
Or their butts or something. Staff have been instructed that breast milk should be replaced with the phrases human milk, breast/chest milk, or milk from the feeding mother or parent.
Yeah, I mean, that's not that difficult. It's really not. Human milk is the most appropriate term. Because do you call cow's milk titty milk? Do you call it breast milk? I don't think you do. You just call it milk.
Literally yesterday, we in this office were talking about the scene from Meet the Parents, in which Robert De Niro asks if because he has nipples, can he also be milked?
Yeah, you actually can. With enough stimulation, men can actually lactate.
And that is the question now. Human milk is called breast milk because it comes from breasts. Breasts belong to women. It is not called chest milk because men have chests and their chests do not produce. Well, our society
That's the wrong thing I hit.
called breast milk because it comes from breasts. Breasts belong to women. It is not called chest milk because men have chests and their chests do not produce. I know that this is difficult stuff, and I'm going to take.
Human male breastfeeding is possible, but production of the hormone prolactin is necessary to induce lactation, so male lactation does not occur under normal circumstances or conditions. But it can occur.
Take it super slowly for those of you who put genders in your profiles, in your Twitter profile. Chest milk, or milk from the feeding mother or parent. So like from the ear or something. Other changes include replacing the use of woman with woman or person. Woman or person, because women are not people. So you have to use one of the two. Woman or person.
They're trying to avoid using gendered terminology. Now they fucked up by putting mothers or breast, or I mean not breast, but women, but it happens, you know? Yeah. Yeah, I don't think nut juice looks very good on a carton. It's not something most people would buy. I wouldn't buy it. But almond silk, like the chocolate silk and stuff, the chocolate soy milk and whatnot, and regular almond milk, pretty fucking good, I'm not gonna lie.
Not and or person, woman or person. And father with parent, co-parent, or second biological parent, depending on the circumstances. Okay, so every single Father's Day for the last several years, I've tweeted out, happy second legal guardian's day. And people have gone nuts on Twitter. They've gone crazy on Twitter. How dare I say such a thing? I mean, don't you understand that fathers are, yes, I understand fathers are important. That's why I'm making fun of the perspective that says fathers are not important. Biological.
There is no perspective that says that fathers are not important. Actually, no, let me take that back. Fathers aren't necessarily the important thing. Having two parents, having a stable income, and a good household, that's the important thing. Having both parents around, is a determiner, or it's a thing that shows that you're going to have a better life, or at least you are more likely to have a better life, that you're set up better to approach life. Because when you have two parents, that usually means that one of them can go to work and the other one can actually watch you and take care of you and raise you. And then when the other one gets home from work, they can watch you for a bit while the other one goes and does other things like relaxes and takes care of their mental stress from watching your little ass run around and be a fucking demon because children are Satan.
Biological males exist. Biological females exist. Only biological females can produce milk for the benefit of the children. They also produce.
No. Fucking wrong, Ben. That's wrong, Benjamin. Again, that's wrong. Men can lactate. Strange but true. Men can lactate. Yes, men can lactate.
With their bodies. The attempt to completely remove from femininity having babies and breastfeeding them is insane and crazy. That's crazy. That's not.
No, not really. It's actually pretty based and epic and bread pilled, and you're just mad. Look at his little gremlin face. Look at that. He's so fucking triggered.
Stuff that males do. I'm sorry to break this to you, but like you're literally denying the femininity of the chief aspect of femininity. You're denying women their femininity by saying that it is just a human thing to feed children with your breasts. It is not just an all.
No, it is. It is just a human thing to feed children with your breasts. Again, I will keep going to this every time he brings it up. I could just leave it on here.
Human thing to feed children with your breasts. This is so ridiculous. And honestly, it's the most sexist crap against biological women I've ever heard in my entire life.
It's really not. Is he going to cry? Ben. Facts don't care about your feelings, buddy.
A man can also chest feed. Can he, though? Can he? The party of science. I desperately want somebody to ask Jen Psaki about this. Like whether, as a trans rights inclusive administration, they are going to encourage all federal language to be changed such that breastfeeding will only be replaced with chest feeding, and mothers will be replaced with first biological parent, and fathers with second biological parent, or sometimes vice versa. Honest to God, what is wrong with human beings who think like this? It's madness.
What's wrong with you, you stupid piece of shit? Look, again, male lactation. It's got a whole Wikipedia. They even have a drug that can be used to increase lactation. Male lactation has also been seen during recovery from starvation. This may be because the glands that produce hormones recover more quickly than the liver, which absorbs hormones, leading to high hormone levels. Facts and logic. Blowing apart the stupid, dumb fuck argument that Ben Shapiro's using.
It's just madness. We as a society are supposed to devolve into collective madness so that some people feel better about the fact that they believe they are members of the opposite sex. That's essentially what we have gone to. So really solid stuff. Good stuff here. Okay, meanwhile, the drama over at the New York Times continues to unfold. We'll get to more of this in just 1 second. First, as we all
Nope.
left has suggested, right? Our institution, all these people want the guild does not know who's for her old tweets, and everybody's like, oh, okay. I don't delete my old tweets, even the ones that I /Ben TAXF for tweets before November 2020. So that's exciting. It's fun that you can do this if you're on the left. I don't delete my old tweets, even the ones that I don't like and regret and have explained, because there should be a record of them. Nicole Hannah-Jones just nukes her old tweets, and everybody's like, oh, okay. Now, apparently, she is making the case that Donald McNeil, you remember that? Donald McNeil, the guy from the New York Times, who was forced to resign essentially because woke staffers pressured him into resigning for not being a racist. Remember that? Nicole Hannah-Jones tweeted out today.
I almost guarantee, because Ben lies about everything, that's a huge mischaracterization.
That she does not know why he resigned. Quote, "We do not know. None of us do. So we should stop pretending otherwise. I will say that as a represented employee, McNeil could not have just been fired without due process. The guild would have represented him, just as it did the first time. Oh, it's a mystery wrapped in enigma." Yeah, all these people wonder why the institutions have a problem. Why people have very little trust in the institutions.
It's because people like you come out and tell fucking blatant lies, and you're funded by big goddamn money, and you label yourself as the facts over feeling logic bro, and you shit on fucking liberals completely disingenuously, and also with a bunch of lies. And dumb fuck 15-year-olds come across your shit and they go, "Oh wow, he sounds really smart and he talks really fast, so I'm gonna go ahead and emulate him and I'm gonna follow him and he's gonna be my god hero and I can't believe that, oh my god, it's Ben Shapiro." And then they get radicalized into Nazism and they realize that you're Jewish, so they drop you for the most part, but they recognize they can't have you just completely blown off because you were a radicalizing force to them. And so they kind of show you some deference, but they hate you because they became fucking Nazis, and you still get money to radicalize people to Nazi them.
I think we figured out why people have little trust in the institutions. Our institutions of science are calling breastfeeding chest feeding. Our newspapers are firing people for the great crime of not using the N-word in racist fashion. Simply talking about
that is definitely not what happened.
The N-word in the context of a story, and people are getting fired for this. And then doxing people who ask questions about it, these newspapers, and their chief employees. Why? But why is the institutional trust down, gang? Why? You know what we need?
It's because of idiots like you misrepresenting that shit. So he's gonna say some stupid shit and then shill for his channel some more. Alright, that's about what I expected from Ben. 3 days old, but it's perfectly fine. Because I don't give a shit about the Gina Carano thing. Not a very good actress, in my opinion, versus, working with somebody who's absolutely a failed screenwrite. I think I'm okay with that. Nothing going on here. Literally nothing. This shit's funny. Stuff like that. It's really funny, but I'm not gonna show it because it's, somebody else's stuff like that. It's not like The Onion. Hopefully not. It's guaranteed to be funny. Voter apathy party. Alright, so there's literally nothing going on right now. Nothing I haven't already covered, that is. Okay, we got polls closed in some election that I don't know about. Huge rallies in Myanmar for 9th day. Army steps up, and then Yemeni clashes. Yeah, I've already covered that stuff. Anything brand new here on Telesur? Okay, that's good. 100,000 Russian COVID vaccines to Venezuela, which will help Venezuela out a lot. We already covered that. Guinea declares an Ebola epidemic. There was cases found in DRC yesterday. So Ebola spreading, not good. Things are going to shit, y'all. And we have the resources to be able to help, but we don't. Ooh, let's go with this.
Ms. Omar.
I absolutely love Ilhan Omar as a representative. She's wonderful. She's actually in a video that I'm going to be uploading.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for your testimonies. Mr. Adams, in 1991, you pleaded guilty to 2 counts of withholding information from Congress regarding your involvement in the Iran-Contra affair, for which you were later pardoned by President George H.W. Bush. I fail to understand why members of this committee or the American people should find any testimony that you give today to be truthful.
If I can respond to that.
It wasn't a question.
That
was not a question. That was I reserve the right to my time.
It is not right.
That was not a question.
Committee can attack
on February 8th,
who is not permitted to reply.
That was not a question. Thank you for your participation. On February 8th, 1982, you testified before the Senate Foreign Relations Committee about U.S. policy in El Salvador. In that hearing, you dismissed as communist propaganda report about the massacre of El Mozote, in which more than 800 civilians, including children as young as 2 years old, were brutally murdered by U.S. trained troops. During that massacre, some of those troops bragged about raping a 12-year-old girl before they killed them. Girls before they killed them. You later said that the U.S. policy in El Salvador was a fabulous achievement. Yes or no, do you still think so?
From the day that President Duarte was elected in a free election to this day, El Salvador has been a democracy. That's a fabulous achievement.
Yes or no, do you think that massacre was a fabulous achievement that happened under our watch?
That is a ridiculous question, and I
yes or no?
No.
I will take that as a yes.
I am not going to respond to that kind of personal attack, which is not a question.
Yes or no, would you support an armed faction within Venezuela that engages in war crimes, crimes against humanity or genocide, if you believe they were serving U.S. interest, as you did in Guatemala, El Salvador, and Nicaragua?
I am not going to respond to that question. I'm sorry. I don't think this entire line of questioning is meant to be real questions, and so I will not reply.
Fucking snowflake.
Whether under your watch, a genocide will take place, and you will look the other way because American interests were being upheld, is a fair question, because the American people want to know that anytime we engage a country, that we think about what our actions could be and how we believe our values are being furthered. That is my question. Will you make sure that human rights are not violated and that we uphold international and human rights?
I suppose there is a question in there, and the answer is that the entire thrust of American policy in Venezuela is to support the Venezuelan people's effort to restore democracy to their country. That's our policy.
Lies. Everything that this guy promises is lies. He's a liar, a lie.
I don't think anybody disputes that. The question I had for you is that does the interest of the United States include protecting human rights and include protecting people against genocide?
That is always the position of the United States.
Thank you.
Oh, then why do we support Saudi Arabia, who's genociding people in Yemen? Why do we support Israel, who's genociding Palestinians? America supports genocidal places quite often. We were very reluctant to step against Hitler.